sorry, Peter, man. I know you think we're being mean to you, or at least I am, because Omani says I'm being mean to you, but we're not. We're not.
You.
First quote. He will be a regular team player in the meantime. We'll see if there's a trade that works. Said Timberwolves owner Glenn Taylor about Jimmy Butler, who will play tonight in the team's season opener at San Antonio. But was this the right move to let Butler play as they continue to try and trade him?
I mean, I don't really know on one level what other option they have as they are trying to field the best product that they have. On the other hand, Jimmy Butler come out there and get hurt ain't no trade, right?
Correct.
Like there's a significant amount of risk that comes from throwing him out there on the court. But if he's going to be on the roster and he's going to be their best player, kind of have to play him.
It makes me feel weird to endorse what Glenn Taylor is proposing here, because Glenn Taylor is probably the worst owner in the NBA, if not all of sports, on this side of Jim Dolan. Glenn Taylor was the guy who got suspended because of that Joe Smith under-the-table contract, the guy who approved David Kahn, the guy who approved taking Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn over Steph Curry. All that is true, but I feel like Glenn Taylor actually has the long-term interests of the franchise in mind. Now, maybe you don't play him, but I do think that you do want to get rid of him faster than Thibodeau does.
Yeah, but not playing him, I think almost, now you got to deal with the union when you get to something like that, where you're just saying, healthy player, we're just not going to let him
That would be
play.
complicated.
Or would it turn into like when the Knicks did that with Stephon Marbury and he was showing up courtside at their games,
Right.
like every time they played. By the way, Kevin Garnett was on TV yesterday. He got that job with TNT. And, well, this is how he thinks of Glenn Taylor, at least as a basketball mind.
Let's listen.
I think at the end of the day, he's trying to motivate those guys. Those guys need to get in the room, sit, talk, be transparent with one another, and discuss things like teammates, man. But, you know, I feel him. I understand him. I know he's passionate. But just the way he's doing it, I'm not feeling that. He's dealing with Glenn, who doesn't know about basketball. Glenn Taylor. Great.
He said it with a straight face, and he said it on live television. It didn't flinch after the fact, by the way.
He was so matter-of-fact about it, as if to indicate that he has many times said that Glenn Taylor doesn't know bleep about
what does he say when he's not on television?
Ooh,
right.
KG, I want to know.
Next quote. Denver, OKC, and the Spurs will all have a better record than the Lakers. The Charles Barkley last night on TNT's pregame show. We're getting all the TNT content, baby. Pablo, do you agree with Chuck?
I do not agree with this smiling face behind us, but I don't think it's all of that crazy because of the teams he mentions, right? Denver and OKC, according to Las Vegas at least, are supposed to have more wins than the Lakers. Where I think Chuck is getting a little off of his rocker here is because of the Spurs. The Spurs lost Tony Parker, lost DeJounte Murray, lost two more point guards between DeJounte Murray and Bryn Forbes, their current point guard, which means, exactly, they're on their like fifth string point guard right now. And yes, they've made the playoffs every year since Greg Popovich's first year. And yes, Greg Popovich is still the coach, but the Spurs cannot possibly make the playoffs or at least be better than the Lakers this year, can they?
Bryn Forbes?
Bryn Forbes.
Where'd he go to school?
I have no idea.
Is he from this country? Like, I have no back. I only got.
Are you Bryn Forbes? Is one of you Bryn Forbes?
I only got one thing I'm guessing about him based on being named Bryn Forbes. I don't know. But I basically agree with you that the idea that Denver could be better than the Lakers is not absurd. OKC is another team where it's kind of a we'll see what they are, but being better than the Lakers is not absurd. That's a lot of faith in Pop, because I think that's what we're talking about here with the Spurs is Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich will find a way. Basically, most of the time that we watch Greg Popovich find a way, he was finding a way with Tim Duncan. Or he was finding a way with Tim Duncan plus some other combination of Hall of Famers. I don't know how you can be so sure about this team.
I am not sure at all. But last quote. This is an old-style rock'em sock'em kind of fight that is two big boys throwing some heavy leather. Said color commentator Ken Danecco after Jamie Benn of the Dallas Stars and Miles Wood of the New Jersey Devils threw hands last night. But let's figure out who won this fight by taking a look.
I love these sports where we can just watch the fights and evaluate them.
Yes.
Like we're boxing judges. Yo, the thing, man, fighting on skates, man, that requires a level of coordination, and it requires you to, like, hold the dude.
And people don't use the skates as a weapon, obviously.
How?
It's like a roundhouse kick of some sort, but
while you stand on one skate,
they're athletic, they're agile, but we have that, the British pronounce it, the David Attenborough pronunciation of agile. So there's your winner, allegedly, just going to town, I think, right?
I mean, I need you to tell me, did you mean the guy in the red or the guy in the white?
Oh, things have changed.
Like there was mystery in this. I determined a winner. They were going for it, though.
Now, Miles Wood is the guy in the red. Jamie Benn is the guy in the green. Jamie Benn, actually a really good offensive player who just likes fighting, apparently, according to hockeyfights.com, which is a resource you may go to figure out how many fights a hockey player has been in. Jamie Benn's been in 23 of these. This dude is 23 years old, so maybe the veteran gets the edge there.
Yeah, the thing I do wonder about this, like, as they change the rules in football and we become more sensitive to head injuries, there are things that we used to love that we now watch and we're kind of like, I don't know about that. Do hockey fans ever get to this place about this? Because they got a concussion problem in large part because they allow players to beat each other upside the head.
And, in fact, our dude Miles Wood just popped off Jamie Benn's helmet, which means to me that that's a pretty good indicator of who is probably going to be more concussed after this Donnybrook, as they say.
Yeah, that's a pretty sound piece of logic.
Donnybrook. Oh, and before we forget, Bomani and I used to write more often than we do now, but if you miss reading our words, ESPN the Magazine's NBA season preview out now is for you. Bo and I looked at all 30 teams in the league and explained what might go dramatically wrong with all of them. Go pick it up and save the written word for us today.
Kevin here says Mobile One annual protection is proven to protect for 20,000 miles.
It'll save you a lot of time.
Dad, with all this extra time. Sorry, buddy. Kevin and I have a tea time at 11.
20,000 miles guaranteed. Mobile One annual protection.
Jorge Burgos fought his way up from keg washer to master brewer. Now he fights to make sure every drop has a crisp case that's pure gold. Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit.
Geico has over 75 years of great savings and service. With such a long history, it's easy to trust Geico. Thank you, Todd. It's not just easy. It's being a master of hypnotism easy. Hey, I got your text. Sleep. Doug, when I snap my fingers, you're going to clean my gutters.
Ooh, I should clean your gutters.
Great idea.
It's not just easy, it's Geico easy.
Todd, you will go make me a frittata.
When the mission calls for military-grade grit, call in an off-road vehicle built on more than 70 years of hardcore heritage. The one that